It's 2024. So Justin, you went to Cornell, one of the highest Ivy League schools. Do you really think, because there's a debate out there, if I have a child, should I be sending them to college and spend all this money, 4 years, and then maybe another 2 or 3 for masters, and maybe another 4 or 5 for the PhD? I mean, being an entrepreneur and being as successful as you are, do you recommend, and I think it depends on the profession, right? There's different.
And the child.
It varies, and the child.
Yeah.
But I just feel like today, college is not when I went to school. I got my master's, I did the whole formal education thing. But today, I don't know if I would still, if I had a kid, send them that route, being that what we know now as entrepreneurs.
Yeah, I have to agree with you. So I think it depends on the person and depends on the kid, like you said.
Yeah, it does.
And also depends on what their end goal is for having all the education. I just feel that it depends on what their goal is. If you want to be an entrepreneurial route when it comes to, let's say, starting your own contracting business, well, trade school might be good for that. Or, for example, you want to be a professor? Sure, yeah, go all the different degree routes. But it really just depends on what their life goal is. As far as with me, to be completely transparent, I probably didn't need to go to college to do what I do, but at the same time, it helped me make more money going to college doing what I do.
Yeah.
Oh, you guys, welcome back
What's going on,
to
family?
Key and Will's The More You Know podcast. We are
Yes.
so excited to be back in the building today. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and share this podcast. We are here today, Will.
Man,
what are we doing here today?
We got the one and only, everybody know him on social media as Top Fund Manager. I was telling a good friend of ours yesterday, I said, oh yeah, we got a podcast, we interviewed Justin Giles. She was like, oh, Top Fund Manager?
That's funny. That's hilarious.
This guy is unbelievable. We've been following him for years.
Yes.
I've been blessed to get to know this gentleman, and we're going to get into that a little bit more. But Justin Giles, welcome to the show, brother.
Welcome to the
Honored
show.
to be here. Honored to be here. Thank you all so much for having me. Seriously, it's a pleasure.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Definitely
It's
pleasure.
certainly our pleasure to have you here, to talk to you today, to glean from your experience. We're very excited. So thank you for taking time out for us.
Listen, I couldn't pass up opportunity. I mean, you got this power couple over here. Me and my wife, we do a lot of stuff together.
Yeah.
So it's so funny when I watch you guys on social media and your YouTube.
Yeah.
I'm like, babe, they're just doing that thing. Like, they got the sauce, So it's an honor. Seriously, I really look up to you guys. Just let you know.
Appreciate it, brother.
Thank you,
yeah.
Justin. That's,
Appreciate it, man.
That says a lot.
So listen, man, I got a lot I want to talk about in this. We ain't gonna keep it too long, but first, Justin, let the folks know who you are.
Who is Justin?
Who is Justin?
Who is
Sure.
Justin?
Okay, so my name is Justin Giles, and I've been in real estate for going on 19 years now. I actually turned 40 years old next month. So I'm leaving the 30s, but I've been in the business since I was 21. And pretty much I went to Cornell, I majored in economics. And when I came out of college, I started working in real estate full time. And how I got into it, my parents had an internet technology company when I was growing up.
Oh.
So they had an IT business. So that business, they grew from my parents' basement to a multi-million-dollar international corporation where we had offices in Johannesburg, Singapore, Malaysia. We had different offices throughout the U.S., Seattle, Washington, Florida. Our headquarters was here in Atlanta, but we had offices in Germany, all over. So I grew up just raised to be an entrepreneur, but my mom was also like us, where she had her real estate broker's license.
Yeah.
So when my parents were buying office buildings and buying single family properties, my mom would also get the commission, but also too, she had a lot of friends that had need to buy a house. So my parents grew up investing in real estate, and I would see how sometimes they would use real estate to help them make payroll. So as a result, I always saw the benefit of having multiple streams of income growing up.
Right.
And when I came out of college, my parents got divorced, so the actual internet technology company wasn't there anymore.
Gotcha.
And I ended up getting into real estate because I kind of grew up in it, even though I grew up with the IT company, and my brother and I were supposed to take over that firm. But around 2005 is when I came out of college. I graduated about like a year early when I came out of college, because I was like, I need to be in college for so long. I just need to get to this money real quick, And for those of you guys who don't know, Cornell is a very studious school. Ain't nothing to do with
Ivy
there
League.
but study.
Ivy League.
You know?
Let's not downplay it. Ivy League.
Okay. Hey, there's not much to do out there. So I ended up coming out, and my brother and I said, let's go ahead and start investing in real estate. So we bought our first house when I was 21.
Wow.
We renovated it. It was
Jeez.
actually a condo in the same place me and my brother were actually living in. Because my brother bought a condo already.
Wow.
So we found this foreclosure around 06. We renovated, sold it.
Wow.
Made 25 grand. Now at the time, I was working at this company, driving this van delivering first aid and safety products for about 42 grand a year. I worked there for 4 months. Right? When we closed that first deal, I quit.
Like, I'm done.
I was out. So my brother quit, I quit. Now I'm 21. This is 06. Now for those of you guys that don't know, 06, everybody balling in real estate.
Yeah.
Back then, you could go get a loan if you had a pulse, you had a credit score, you had the stated income loans, you had all these different financial products. Now, after a little time, me and my brother started realizing we bought another house in a neighborhood that wasn't as great, and we couldn't offload it. Something was going on. The market was going like this. So then when the market tanked,
about to crash. Yeah.
me and my brother have no income. After our first deal, we didn't make money for 2 years.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
So that's when I got really good at real estate investing.
Okay.
Because when you don't make money for 2 years, you got a lot of nights where you think about how
You
to
got to
make money.
figure it out. You got to figure it out.
So I ended up figuring out the hard way though. So we built a house before the market crashed. We built a house, and that house ended up going to foreclosure. The house that we bought after we sold that condo we made that 25 grand off of, we couldn't offload that, had to do a short sale. So then I started realizing, dang, okay, they're starting to make money off of short sales. They're starting to make money off of foreclosures. Now my credit score is like a 400, so I had to figure out how to make money in a very short period of time with having no income, not having a widget to sell, but I had a service. So me and my brother got our real estate licenses. And that's when I started networking with people like yourselves, networking with other just people that were like-minded, and I started just making money as a realtor.
Gotcha.
And this is around 08.
Right.
So keep in mind, 06, I made a little bit of money. 08, I still ain't make no money.
Right.
So 2 years, so then come mid-08, that's when I started making a little bit of money as a realtor. Then I started taking that commission and investing. So by then, properties were cheap.
Yeah.
So I started buying property
Scooping
for
them up.
10 grand, 7 grand, 15 grand. We ain't ever gonna see prices like that probably
That's
for
right.
a long
Ever.
We're
time.
not.
Ever.
We're
Ever.
probably
You know?
not. No.
You know?
Yeah.
And,
I think those days are gone.
Yeah, those days are probably gone. So
But you were smart enough to capitalize on it at that time. So
Yeah. So, us being realtors and real estate professionals, took that commission, started investing.
Yeah.
And after that, I started making money, and I got my name top fund manager because when I was in college, I used to work on investment banking. So I used to work on Wall Street at this company called Credit Suisse.
Okay.
And I saw how all these hedge funds and big investment banks would make money. And I worked in the commercial mortgage-backed securities division. All that means is that we were actually securitizing loans based off of, we're securitizing commercial loans. So if you got a loan on a commercial office building, we would turn that into a bond and sell it on the open market.
Gotcha.
Typically, what caused the market to crash was they were creating bonds off of single-family mortgage loans, and they were having people say that, hey, I can go get this loan for 800 grand, not making anything with a 700 credit score. They would just take the loan, not pay it because they couldn't afford it anyway. And they would sell those bonds on the market, and those bonds would default because the people that were supposed to pay the mortgages weren't paying them. So that's what also caused the financial
market,
collapse, as well as a lot of other things.
Lender issues. Yeah.
But pretty much, to get to the point, I started investing when the market went down, and I got my name top fund manager because I created my own hedge fund. So around the market collapse, I started making so much cash off investing in the bad market. People were like, how are you doing that?
Yeah.
So I was like, well, you can invest with me if you want. But by then, I was giving heavy returns back to investors, which I shouldn't have, but I didn't know any better because I'm in my early to mid 20s at this point.
Right.
So after a while, I just paid off all my investors because I'm giving them 25, 30% back, within a matter of months after I renovate a house.
Mm-hmm.
And as I got older, I was like, typically these investment banks and other funds are doing like 10% annually. If that, people are happy to get that.
Yeah.
So I paid everybody off. I started using my own cash. I kept a few different people that rocked with me from day one that weren't greedy. And after that, I just been kind of investing full time, been doing a lot of other businesses related to real estate investing, which we can get into, and just now kind of really help people if they want to learn how to invest, to just running the plays as far as finding distressed properties that most people can't find under market value, regardless of market conditions.
Wow.
I do have a question. I want to take it back to when you were in college, right? When you were in college, did you have that, because you had seen your parents be entrepreneurs all that time, you'd seen them do very well and make all this money. What was your mindset in college? Were you like, let me finish these 4 years and then I'll start? Or were you thinking all through college, I'm going to start some investments now? Or how were you being guided during that time you were in school?
No, for sure. So in college, I said, and I was talking to my parents, were like, look, just finish college, go ahead, study, knock it out, come out, kill it.
Okay.
But what ended up happening when I was in college, my parents had a really bad divorce. They didn't like each other.
Right.
So all that money was being spent on attorneys.
I got you.
So that trust fund that I probably should have had.
Yeah, that ain't quite that no more.
They was over there fighting that out with the attorneys.
Got you.
So when I'm in college, I'm like, okay, you know what? I'm not going to be able to take over the family business, which is unfortunate. But for me, I didn't really have a preference to take over the family business because my brother, he went to Georgia Tech. He was more groomed to take over the IT company. I said, hey, if I get in there, I'll be on the business side because my major was economics, so I wanted to be more broad. So when I was in college, I said, the business is there, it's cool. If it's not cool, I'm still gonna figure out regardless.
Yeah.
And my thing was, I was just so hunkered down to just make sure I get good grades and get out.
Okay.
I figured after I get out,
you figure it out.
I'm gonna figure it out.
Yeah.
But so that's how it was. I had no clue when I was in college, I was gonna be in real estate. FYI, I had no clue. If that was really the case, I still would have finished college,
right?
But I wouldn't have cared about going to get my MBA. Now, I don't have my MBA, but I was thinking like, okay, I was applying to get my MBAs and all this type of stuff, but I was like, when I came out, I just got to get straight to hitting these financial goals.
It's 2024. So Justin, you went to Cornell, one of the highest Ivy League schools. Do you really think, because there's a debate out there, should if I have a child, should I be sending them to college and spend all this money, 4 years, and then maybe another 2 or 3 for masters, and maybe another 4 or 5 for the PhD? I mean, being an entrepreneur and being as successful as you are, do you recommend? And I think it depends on the profession, right? It's different.
And the child.
It varies, and the child.
Yeah.
But I just feel like today, college is not when I went to school. I got my master's, I did the whole formal education thing. But today, I don't know if I would still, if I had a kid, send them that route, being that what we know now is entrepreneurs.
Yeah, I have to agree with you. So I think it depends on the person and depends on the kid, like you said.
Yeah, it does.
And also depends on what their end goal is for having all the education. Because I'm sure that we all know there's people out there, they're just professional students. They don't really want to be in corporate for us.
Yeah.
They just want to collect as many degrees as possible to say they got it.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
To each his own, but as far as you have a lot of, kids, and I say kids, but I shouldn't say kids. You have young adults that really can start getting the trades, or this is a problem. Social media makes making money look too easy.
It does. It does.
It does.
Everybody's driving. And that's another thing, Justin, we're going to get into this because, I want to talk to you. We're going to finish the conversation about school, but people don't understand the grind and what it takes.
They don't.
They don't know. They don't understand.
And I appreciate you also making mention of not only, the triumphs you've experienced, but you did mention a couple of downfalls that you had, like not making money for a couple of years. Couple of years. That's a big, chunk of time.
Yeah. My mom was like, y'all gotta go get a job. And what happened is my mom, she still had a little bit of cash, so she was bailing us out. Mm-hmm. We didn't have a lot of conversation with our dad because we weren't getting along at the time. Mm-hmm. So for about 9 years, me and my brother didn't really talk to our dad much, about business or anything at all. We just didn't get along.
I get it.
Mm-hmm.
So my mom was trying to help us out. And as soon as my mom couldn't bail us out anymore, that's when we had to, pretty much cowboy up and figure it out. And I'm thankful, because sometimes it's like, you have your parents as a crutch. So when that crutch is removed, that's when it becomes a make or break.
Yeah.
And like you were asking about how, kids going to school or young adults going to school, I just feel that it depends on what their goal is. If you want to be an entrepreneurial route when it comes to, let's say, starting your own contracting business, well, trade school might be good for that. Or, for example, you want to be a professor? Sure, yeah, go all the different degree routes. But it really just depends on what their life goal is. As far as with me, to be completely transparent, I probably didn't need to go to college to do what I do. But at the same time, it helped me make more money going to college doing what I do.
Yes.
And the reason why is because now when people research me, they'll see all my credentials.
Right.
And for example, me and my wife, we're about to build a house right now. And some of the loans that I'm getting, I got these people interviewing me. Like, hey, okay, what's your background? What's your story? Where'd you go to school? This, that, and the third, because they don't want to loan me all this cash, or even for these mixed use developments I got coming up. They don't want to loan me all this money if I don't have a educational background or education background or credentials that they feel, necessary.
Right.
Even when it comes to raising cash. If I'm saying, look, it depends on your demographic. Hey, I was locked up a couple times. This might ruffle some feathers, but I changed my life around. I'm doing this. Okay, well, those people don't want to hear that shit.
Right.
They gonna say, hell
that's
no.
a large amount of money that they're
They're gonna be like, yo, you got this
with.
criminal background?
Yeah.
We can't rock with you like that.
Sure,
Exactly.
sure.
Now, you got some people, and I'm bringing that up, is because a lot of people are out here on social media bringing up street cred, bringing up like, hey, I'm from this area, or I did all this time. And then you'll see that, there's a lot of stuff that surfaces up with some of these other people, I won't mention their names, that now other people getting scammed from people that already have scamming backgrounds. Right? So it's kind of like people want somebody with a highly proficient background that they feel comfortable with.
Right.
Sure,
and I think right now, and the reason why I'm bringing it up is because social media is now glorifying, just as it was when we were younger, like, the streets. But in the real world, when you're actually dealing with real big companies and you're dealing with, high level stuff that can really help you take your business to the next level, that street cred is not going to get you there.
Exactly.
Right.
You need that education. You need that. You need those credentials. They're going to want to see that track record, and that's the space that I deal in.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
Depending on what type of clientele you want to have is going to depend on if you're going to go to college or not, and how far ahead you go.
It matters. I think it does matter. I think college gives you discipline,
maturity,
getting things done on time. So all those things matter.
Prioritizing.
But I think in conjunction with, I think the days of getting a degree and working for a company 20, 30 years, that's probably not going to happen today. Folks are going to school, but then they're figuring out, how can I use my education to take my own business to the next level? So I think that's happening a lot.
Yeah.
So Justin, clearly you and your brother are very smart. Cornell, your brother went to Georgia Tech, and you've been very successful in your career to date. But when you were younger and you were starting, how did you know what to do? Speaking to folks out there who are interested in starting an investment company, or just wanting to do some one-off investments, or, just kind of diversify their portfolio by doing some different things that you've done. How did you know what to do, and what would you recommend as...
Where do they start?
Where did they start? What is the first step?
Yeah, for me, I learned off of failing. That was my problem. Like, I didn't really know what to do. I kind of just said, oh, let me go buy this house. The numbers make sense. The ARV makes sense.
Okay.
But then I was buying a house in a neighborhood that I wouldn't want to live in myself.
Right.
I was also buying functionally obsolete houses. It was a 2-bedroom, one bath.
Yeah.
So
Didn't make
after
sense.
taking an L and then taking another L, I was like, okay, you know what? It was just like touching the fire and realizing it's hot.
Sure.
Then you know, okay.
Yeah.
So
A little bit of experience.
I ended up really learning most of all my strategies off of going through it, which shouldn't have been the case.
Right.
It's just that, you know, my mom, she was a realtor. She had experience within buying a property and renting it out.
Mm-hmm.
Any property you could pretty much buy, rent out long term, you'll make money off of it. But for me, I'm buying property and I'm looking to renovate it to then sell it around that same market.
Yeah.
So with that, I just went through it. But now, you know, having gone through it, I know what to do, but it just, I wasn't reading the books, you know, and then even some of the stuff you're not going to find in books.
That's true.
You know,
But I think, that knowledge is what's important. I mean, that's why you have your mentorships, right? That's why you have these things. You know, I'm a part of your mentorship program, right? Because I am pro getting right to the information. Justin's already failed multiple times. So I should not have to fail that many times, right? It's like connect with individuals who can take you to the next level without you making those same mistakes. And what I've learned just dealing with Justin, folks don't realize it. They see Justin with the Lambos and living that life, the mansions, but I really don't. That's really not the focus. You guys need to know this guy works
hard.
He works extremely hard. But they don't see that, Justin. They think, oh, all I got to do is just go do this and that. This guy works. He has a family. This guy, you'll see some of his videos. He's out there picking up junk, trash, throwing it on the back of the truck.
It's fat.
You know, like I'm like, bro, this guy's a multimillionaire, but he's out there
doing the work,
picking up the dirt, taking it out. I mean, that shows the level.
This, you got to pay somebody $500 to come back out to go do a punch list. If I'm already there, or I got one of my other guys there, I'm like, yo, man, let's just knock it out together. It's only going to take an hour and a half.
Right.
Because I'd rather save that money. Right. So I know how to. And then when I started out, you have to think about it. I didn't always have people doing that stuff for me.
Right.
I had to learn with my other guys how to put up all the lights, how to put the ceiling fans, how to do a bunch of the stuff that I'll pay somebody for, because I couldn't afford to just be paying all these contractors.
Absolutely.
So then people don't realize this guy's actually handy.
Yeah.
If you go into real estate and you're truly a real estate investor, you gotta be handy at some point in the time.
At some point.
Yeah. So, you know, thank God I ain't been shot. You know, like, but, you know, we're doing some electrical work, but my guy, like, turn off the power to that third. But yeah, you figure it out. That's the thing. I mean, because, I mean, it builds character. So that's why we like to teach even a lot of the kids in our non-for-profit how to do some of those trades so then they can then end up making money. Yeah. Because somebody might charge you $50 minimum just to put up a light. And really come here, they can probably charge you $75. A light costs $55, $100 depending on the light anyway. Just learn how to do it yourself.
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. So Justin, talk to us about, you know, your mentorship program. You mentioned just a moment ago, or will mention, being a part of your mentorship program. Tell us a little bit about that and if someone is interested in joining, how they can do that.
Yeah, so pretty much what we do is we teach people how to invest in real estate from every walk of life. So no matter if you work at Publix, because we had a kid that actually worked at Publix that had $200,000 months consecutively a couple years ago, to even if you're, let's say, working investment banking. One of my good friends, he was at Duke undergrad, got his MBA from there, been working on Wall Street for 13 years. Just came in at one of our last masterminds earlier this year to do real estate, what we do full time, join the mentorship. But in the mentorship, one of the things we really show you how to do, and I appreciate it, is one of the main things is we show you how to find distressed assets. Okay. Like a lot of people don't know how to find deals. So people always ask me, hey, Justin, how's the real estate market? Real estate market's always great, you know? It's always good.
That's when you have multiple strategies.
It's always good, you know? I mean, to me, it's always good because I know how to find deals. But then not only that, you got to figure out how to finance the deals. Yeah. How do you structure the deals? How do you get in buyers? So for example, people will find a deal, but then do they have somebody, if they want to learn how to buy and sell a house without using cash, do you have somebody to buy the house when you find the deal? Because a lot of times people will think they can replicate what I do. And I hope they do, cool. But let's say they go find a deal. They have to then find somebody to buy it in 24 hours. Most people don't know cash buyers are going to buy it. And then even if you do know a cash buyer, oh, where's it at? Okay, I'll get to it.
Keep waiting.
Is it still available? Right? So for me, I think, well, not I think, but over the years of how I've been in business, I've developed some different relationships and so many different contacts. But not only that, it's just so many strategies. I got strategies now. I can buy houses, commercial buildings, any type of property without even putting up cash and buying it on a 30-year loan.
And I think those years of experience have gotten you that.
Yeah.
I mean, and it's not just talk. I mean, I've been on the call with Justin. He's running plays real time. He picked up the phone. He said, boom, 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 hold on. And he's running plays like that, real time. But it's not just, he's not doing anything magic. It's just that he has the strategies and been in the game long enough to know what to say, when to pull back, and that kind of knowledge is invaluable.
Right.
It is.
And to add on, so pretty much in a nutshell, if you're a person and you really want to scale up in real estate and you want to make extra money on the side, or you want it to be your full-time thing, I show you how to make as much money as you want, literally print cash off of using strategies that anybody can do, from even the kids in my teen program. We had a young girl that was 16 a few years ago, made $7,000 without using any of her own money. And if she can do it, anybody can do it. Yeah. And one of the things I pride myself, which is interesting, because I was just thinking about this, because I turned 40 this year. And I try to be hard on myself, because I'm like, man, is there a lot of like, could I accomplish more? Could I do something? But I thought about it. I said to myself, you know what? Me turning 40, I could actually, say if I didn't do anything else in life, I could still be proud, because I've helped so many people scale up and truly change their lives. And I've impacted not only their lives, but their families' lives. And I know I'm impacting the next generation's lives, because now I can't tell you like how many cards, how many text messages, how many phone calls I've gotten from people in my mentorship program and said, hey, Justin,
changed my life.
If it wasn't for you, bro.
Yeah.
So I got a wedding to go to in October. This one guy, he was 19. His name is DJ. He joined me years ago. And he was in college at the University of Texas in Austin playing basketball. At the time, my mentorship program was $5,000. He joined. He was renovating houses from Texas here in Atlanta. He made over $100,000 his first year, not even his first year. Less than a year, while he was playing basketball full-time as a point guard at 19.
Oh, wow.
So then he was still in college, by the way. So then he made the next year even more money, right? Now, fast forward, he's getting married. He is renovating houses in Florida, Georgia, building properties in Costa Rica. And him and his wife, his fiance, all they do is real estate full time. That's it.
That's phenomenal.
And I go to his wedding in October. One of the other guys used to work at Publix, the one that had the $200,000 months. He was getting paid Publix about maybe $250 or so a week. And he found me on Snapchat. He was like, hey, can I cut your grass, this, that, and the third? I was like, okay, well, I can use an assistant. So he drove me around for like a couple years, cutting grass, just being my assistant. Learn the game, taught the game. And he's been making crazy money for pretty much like, since like maybe he worked for me for about 3 years before he went into it full time.
Okay.
He got married in my backyard.
Oh, wow.
A couple years ago.
Wow.
So it's just stories like that.
Yeah, absolutely.
It makes me feel proud, because you have a lot of people out here, they'll go try to get you to go get a credit card, put you in debt, and then take 10, 15% of your debt. Me, I'm showing people how to make money without even getting in debt, without only having to using cash. And then when they get cash, they can then go still put it down payments to go buy property. There's all types of stuff to talk about. But these people can change their lives and not actually get in debt, but just get sheer cash.
But I think it's mindset. Talk a little bit about mindset, because all the strategies you teach, everybody's not going to run the plays.
That's facts.
I mean, I would say maybe 20.
You spoke a word then, Will.
20-30%. Maybe they might run the play. So because they say you are your circle, right? Your average of the folks that you're around.
So I heard someone say you're an average of the 5 people you hang around the most.
Right. And I think in that elevates your mindset, that elevates your thinking. Being around Justin, being around folks that are elevating themselves, that elevates us, right? But I realize that no matter how many strategies you can sit here and just say, okay, Will, I need you to do X, Y, Z. If I don't do X, Y, Z, it's not going to happen.
Then they're looking at you like, well, Justin, well, what happened?
Because Justin makes it seem, he's been doing it so long, and to him, he can make that kind of money overnight. And people are like, oh, I can make it too. Okay, but you got to do these steps. Right, and a lot of people are not willing to do it.
That's true.
So why is that?
You know what? I mean, it's so funny, bro. I feel like social media be just brainwashing people.
I agree.
Think, okay, if I go pay this person, show me the game, I should automatically make money. I can't tell you how many times
people think
this is one of the most frequently asked questions I get. Hey, when I join, how soon do I start making cash? Well, I mean, you have to think that's a really loaded question.
Right.
How great work ethic do you have?
Exactly.
Because if you just join, I mean, I'm not going to just put money in your pocket.
Right.
So, I mean.
How committed are you?
Right.
What's your
discipline?
Depends
on, and it's so funny. So it's funny you guys bring this up. So for me, I started thinking to myself, I've been coaching people for so long, and I'm going to continue coaching, don't get me wrong, but I'm only going to market or promote coaching one time a year.
Okay.
Now, and the reason why is because when you market on social media and you're saying, hey, buy my courses, that, and the third, well, for me, my stuff actually works. Mm-hmm. So it takes away time for me making money by creating content to market for somebody to go buy something where I'm just trying to help them.
Right.
So throughout the rest of the year, I can just go run my plays, run my strategies, actually do what I actually teach people.
Yeah, exactly.
And make a killing.
And I'm okay.
And then come the beginning of the year when I'm just, okay, I'm getting back. It's a new year, new me. Let me help some people out.
Right.
And then I'll do that one time. But yeah, if you notice, if you really, really actually practice what you preach, you're going to just do it. Mm-hmm. And it's going to show based off of your work.
Right.
Versus some people, all they really do is sell courses because that's how they make their money. And that's their business. And I get it. It makes sense because some businesses, all it is selling courses. I'm not referring to real estate, but let's say if you're teaching a MLS class, right?
Right.
Well, that's your job. You're teaching people how to get the real estate license. You're teaching that. Now, if you're, let's say, teaching somebody how to make lights, well, that might take away from you truly actually making money off of building your light business by teaching other people how to make lights. So for me, same thing with real estate.
I got you.
Look, I got to go run my plays and do it like that, because what ends up happening is I'll get distracted, or if someone comes and pays during my one-on-one or whatever, and I'm getting phone calls from people who are just being lazy, that takes away from my day.
Yeah. They being what, Justin?
Lazy.
Yeah.
They being lazy. So I'm trying to get folks to understand that in order to take your life to the next level, you cannot be lazy. You got to get up in the mornings.
It's a real job.
It's a job.
It's a job, even though it's not a corporate America job. Yeah.
You got to put the work in.
Yeah.
And no one's there telling you, you got to be here at 9 and work till 5. And, you take your lunch. You've got to be disciplined enough to create your schedule, to get up and hustle, to work however long it takes to run those plays, right? And to continue to see it through.
Yeah.
I have a question for you about, when did it pop for you, right? You kind of kick things off at 21, and, here you are about to be 40. And so how much time would you say it took from that 21-year-old to a point where you were like, okay, I finally caught my stride and I'm seeing the fruits of my labor, and I think I'm going to be okay?
You know what? I think when I first got my real estate license, that's when it happened.
Okay.
So when that first 2.5 years I didn't make any money, when I came out of college, I got that job. I was getting paid $42,000 a year, but I gave me a signing bonus of $2,000. So I was getting $44,000. And I said to myself, I met another real estate guy. He said, Justin, you can outdo any salary somebody pays you. So I was like, okay, it just stuck with me. So I ended up getting my real estate license. The first 6 months, I was so proud of myself. I made $54,000. I was like, I outdid that salary.
That's right.
Yes.
You did what you said.
The next full year, I did $56,000. The full year, right? Now, to some people, those numbers sound small, but to me, I was ecstatic because I, on my own, made more money than this corporate job was paying me.
Right.
And I did it on my own terms.
Yes.
So when I did that, I was like, there's no looking back. I'm good.
Yeah.
Now I had my ups and downs. Income increased, you know, as the years went by. Some years I would do 6 figures. Like I remember the first year, the first time I touched 6 figures, I did like 105. And I was still like around 20 something. But then guess what? The next year, I did 66.
Right. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
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 Like
I
a
was
little
like,
lower.
oh,
Yeah.
okay then. The next year it was like 80 something.
Yeah.
Now I was like, another year was like 150 something. And then I had to kind of, because different years with different stuff, I'm still young. I'm still,
Still
you know,
learning.
under
Still
30.
learning. Yeah.
Right.
So I'm still trying to like figure it out. But still every year I was still proud of myself because I remember where I started at that 42 plus that $2,000 signing bonus. And I'm saying, I've been doing this for over 3, 4, 5 years. I know what to do to sustain myself. So regardless, I'm good.
Okay.
But that first time I hit that 54,000, that 6 months,
You was like, that's
and then
it.
the second year, I was like,
Because you know
that's
what's
it.
possible at that point.
I know it's possible.
You know what's
And
possible.
did you decide I'm done with the corporate America job and I'm going to focus going forward on being my own boss?
Yeah,
Yeah.
because for me, and like a lot of other people of color, I experienced a lot of racism in corporate America. A lot. So at that job, the first time I started, I'll go back to one of the jobs. I had an internship. I worked at this company called Kaiser Permanente. The first day, it was this guy. His name was Danny. He, the white dude went to UGA. I sat down, so I'm sitting right here, you're Danny. So he's like, hey, I'm Danny. I'm going to be training you this year. I was like, cool. Now I'm 16, 17, FYI, right? And he was like, so where'd you go to school? I was like, I went to Cornell. He's like, oh, I went to University of Georgia. Well, he said, I went to University of Georgia. I was like, okay, cool. That's what's up, bro. And he was like, so where are you from? I was like, I'm from Atlanta. He said, what part of Atlanta? I'm from Buckhead. He's like, oh, the apartments? And I was like, no, I stay in the house. He's like, oh, those rundown houses that they're renovating? No, I was like, no. And at the time, I was like, okay, I see what time it is. But the thing is that for me, my parents were already multimillionaires when I was 16, 17. So I was living in the richest neighborhood of Buckhead, and their houses now worth about $7 million.
Wow.
Right.
So I'm like, man, fuck this dude.
Right,
Excuse my language.
Yeah,
YouTube content.
Yeah.
But I was like, I don't care. I don't care about this guy, like
Right.
whatever. So I'm over here just like letting this dude talk because growing up, I already knew how some people would try to make somebody better than me. But my upbringing, I'm like, bro, whatever, homie. Like, if anything, my parents tell me to be humble. So
Right.
I was just like, let me just humble myself because I don't need to prove anything to this guy.
Exactly.
So now he's like, oh, so you live in those rundown houses they're renovating? And I was like, nah. And I'm laughing in my head. I'm like, nah, I stay in the house. He's like, oh, okay. And I was like, yeah, I stay in this house in this neighborhood. He's like, okay. He's like, what type of car do you drive? Now, at the time I had 2 cars. My grandpa gave me a 68 Ford Torino, and then I had a 2005 Chrysler Crossfire, right?
Okay.
So at the time it was like 04.
Right. Yeah.
So I was telling him about the 68 Ford. He's like, oh yeah, I also have 68 Ford. He's like, oh, why drive a Mercedes? I was like, that's cool, homie.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
do you?
Yeah.
Right.
So then I had all these keys. He's like, yeah, all these keys are on a keychain. What are you, a janitor? This dude's taking shots. This is the first.
Oh my God.
This is the first 4 minutes I met this guy. This is the first 4 minutes I met this guy, right? He was like, go clean those cubes over there. That's how he talked to me. So I'm like, all right, you know what? This is an internship. My parents told me to get these internships. Let me be cool, go over there. Now, what I was offended about was imagine if I'm a black kid that lived in an apartment.
Sure.
So he's trying to establish some sort of superiority over me.
Right.
That entire summer I was harassed. I had to go to HR, right? They tried to make it seem like I was an inferior employee when the other manager, it was this Asian lady, was trying to take up for him, even though they gave me great reports until I complained to HR. When I was in investment banking, same thing. I was working investment banking. They would always call out the black guys. They call me out. All the white folks going to sleep. They call me out for just nodding off because we're working 80 to 85 hours a week, sometimes 90 hours a week. Waking up, we start at 8. We get off work around 3 a.m. Do it Monday through Thursday.
Wow.
Friday, 8 a.m. to 12 a.m. Saturday, 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. Sunday off.
Yeah.
White boys going to sleep. They hit me up. Oh, they kicked me out the room. We're at the Hamptons over at the golf club. They have a little company outing. All these white folks that worked with me throughout the whole year, I just asked them, hey, is somebody sitting there? No, but you can take these plates though. So they thought I was the help. They thought I was one of the servants. So they sent the black guy to go, apologize. Next job, the other job, Cintas. First day, another white boy harassing me again. He's like, hey, take this van, go clean it. He had a box of stuff, threw it on the ground, told me to go pick it up. Next thing you know, last straw, we over here at this construction site. I got control of the van. I'm over here sitting, Will's like the other guy. Yeah. I'm driving, right? Let's say you're the driver. The dude kicks up his feet up on the dash. All this mud's up on my dash. And I was like, bro, you gonna clean? He's like, no, you're gonna clean this shit up. I was on the freeway, bro. I put that thing in park. I was about to whoop his.
Right.
Right. And then after we did our deal, we quit. But my whole point is bring that up. Those are all corporate jobs I ever had. All internships, except for that one. All 3, I was harassed by pretty much white folks. So I say, you know what, man? Corporate America ain't for me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, I'm not saying that, that's everybody's experience, but it's just maybe being in I don't know what it is, but maybe just because of me, I had a lot of bad experiences in corporate America dealing with racism. If that's not racist, I don't know what it is.
Right.
But you know what?
Right.
That believe it, but that you took that and now here you are.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You can tell that story and you have progressed to unbelievable levels.
Yeah, I also feel like those experiences also gave you even more drive to ensure that you could be successful, you could maintain, the level of a lifestyle that you wanted for you and your family. So
And that's why I really like to do coaching and to mentor people, because there's a lot of people that feel stuck in some of these professions, and they feel like they have to take that type of abuse. Yeah. So if I can help somebody get it out, then I still did my job.
Yeah, and I think, trust me, a lot of folks who are watching us, it resonates with them. I mean, we've all had those experiences, folks of color. But I always say, we got to do what we got to do. There's nothing necessarily wrong with corporate America. You can make a lot of money in corporate America, but it's always good to have multiple streams of income where you can also have the ability to do what you want to do when you want to do it.
Yeah,
Justin, so you've got the money play book. You've got these plays that are the keys to success, if you will. I'm gonna get you out of here with what's one of the money play. We ain't gonna run it all the way down for everybody. If you guys are interested, there's a way to get this information. But if you had to say one money play that you would like to share, what would that be?
Yeah. So you know what? I'll give y'all something easy that y'all can just take home with you. Contracting. So anybody can do this. You don't need a license. What I even teach the kids is, let's say that you have a roofer, right? I use the roofing play.
Okay.
So let's say you go find a roofer and this roofer is priced pretty well. Well, you can go door knock and go to different people's houses and say, hey, if you need a roof, I got the best price on roofing. I can help you out. In fact, I'm doing your neighbor's roof, and they are so excited that we got this amazing price for them. So I just wanted to share this with you guys because I didn't know if you need it or if you know somebody that needs it, but I love to help. You can call on the phone, door knock, whatever, right? Okay. You never have to have an experience or anything like that because the roofers are going to use already have the experience. Typically, I'm doing a roof on a standard home for half of what the actual market price is going to be. So then you can then go and have it quoted out, charge pretty much an extra $2 or $3 grand, even $4 grand on top of what the actual price is from what your contractor is doing. and make money like that and still have it licensed and bonded because the contractor gonna have licensed bonded, you're just the middleman at this point or middlewoman. So you can do that, and you can do that with roofing. You can do that with flooring.
Yep.
You can do that with plumbing, pretty much anything. So, I mean, I teach people how to make money in every single aspect of real estate because let me tell you all the businesses that I have. I have the real estate brokerage firm. So we have realtors that work on our company, but I also started a, we have the consulting company with the teaching people how to invest in real estate. But we also have the contracting business because we're renovating so many houses. Well, we can help other people renovate their houses. So we make a killing just off the contracting business. Not only that, I just started up Title Gurus. So now we have our own title company.
Oh, wow.
So I didn't announce that yet. Okay. But if you guys need to close your loans, you need to go ahead and do that.
You heard it first.
There you go.
You heard it first
Title
here. Gurus, right? So the brokerage firm is Real Estate Gurus. We have Title Gurus. We have lending gurus in the work. So now if you need to get loans, whatever the case may be, that's what we lend. So we got lending gurus.
This guy.
Yep.
I love it.
Listen.
Then we got the non-for-profit to where we teach kids, of course, how to invest in real estate. That's a top fund project. But the whole point is that you can vertically integrate your business so you make money off of everything. So for you guys watching this at home, if you have no cash at all, find some good contractors. Go ahead and say you started your own roofing business or tile business or flooring company and have them people quit out the job and charge on top of that and be completely hands off outside of collecting your profit.
So smart.
Subcontract and play. Listen, Justin has so many plays and strategies. Just before we get out of here, brother, I want to know, how do you manage all your multiple business? And you had a beautiful wife and beautiful kids at home, brother. How do you make it work, man? Because I see your beautiful family, man.
It seems so stress-free. Like you're just so calm and
People
patient
say that all the time.
And you have so many
happy.
balls in the air,
You know
man.
what?
I love that about you. I love your spirit.
And I appreciate it. And that's why I think you guys are amazing. I had to come on you all's podcast because the thing is, no matter how much time is in a day, you always want to make time for family.
Yeah.
Because the work is going to be there anyway. Like I'm always going to be busy, but my kids are little babies. Right. So if I don't come home at a certain time, they might not get to know their dad. So regardless of how much you guys have juggling, always make time for what's most important. Like, and that's how I live my life. So no matter what, if I got a bunch of stuff going on, I know I'm gonna try to get home about 5:30, 6, because my kids go to bed about 8. So all right, let me go do this. Or maybe I'll pick them up from school. But you gotta have that work-life balance. And if anything, I can make up some stuff at night. But at the end of the day, the reason why I'm so nonchalant is because I'm still a man of faith. God always got me. So regardless, and then on top of that, we don't need abundance. Yeah. Like, even though, I mean, we all enjoy, living certain type of lifestyles, but at the same time, I still understand that I could live simply if I wanted to.
That's right.
So I sleep
and
good
still
at
be
night
happy.
Because of that reason.
Yeah. Wow.
Because this is all you truly need. You know, right here, if you have a good support system, you have a good family, you got a good wife, or a good husband, and you have that happiness at home, that's really all that matters. So I know that my home can come with me wherever. Yeah. If I'm living in a 1-bedroom apartment, I'm still good because
you got what
I need food, water, shelter. I'm cool. All the other stuff is just extra.
Yeah.
Wow.
Absolutely.
Man, that's one way to end the podcast right there.
Oh my God.
Wow.
Thank you so much, Justin.
That was an honor. It was an honor.
I learned a lot today, that's for sure.
Man, Justin, how can he find you? I know you top fund manager everywhere.
Yeah, that's it. You got it. Yeah. So topfundmanager.com. All my social media is Top Fund Manager. And the non-for-profit is topfundproject.org.
Awesome.
Make sure you guys go check it out.
Awesome.
I think if you're interested in investing, diversifying your portfolio, check them out.
Yeah, definitely. Listen, thank you, Justin Giles, the Top Fund Manager.
Thank you all.
It's a wrap, baby. Key and Will. We'll see you on the next episode.